In the last class, I asked you if there isn't a better way to express the term ashamed when we refer to Genesis chapter 2 and verse 25, which I've got up here on the screen right now, where it says that they were both, Adam and Eve, naked. And remember, this is a positive nakedness, and that it is referring to their wisdom, which was another translation that the King James translators used here. So they were both wise, the man and his wife, and they were not ashamed. So what could be another way of expressing the term ashamed? So I'm going to go up here to the Strong's, and in verse 25 we can see they were not ashamed, that it's H954. So I've clicked on that. We come over here to the right screen, and we can see various translations that the King James translators used here. I'm going to go straight to the one that I think is a better rendition of this, and it's the word confounded, as we can see here, or confusion. Confusion. And I'm going to use the word confusion. So what we're going to do is we can do a word search on confusion, and here it is on the left-hand side here, and I've already located the one that we want, and it's in Psalm 71:1. And you can see here the word confusion with the same Hebrew reference that we're using, H954. And where it says here, "In you, O Lord, do I put my trust. Let me never be put to confusion." Let me never be put to confusion. Isn't that the way that it should be? And in fact, that is the way Adam and Eve were. They were not in confusion. So if we go back to Genesis 2:25 and we come down to the King James, we could read this. "And they were both wise, the man and his wife, and were not confused." Now that is the state that they were in. On the other hand, the serpent, who was full of guile, full of filth, he was confused. That is the negative rendition of this. What we have here is Adam and Eve with true wisdom, and that true wisdom means there's no confusion. And on the other hand, we have the serpent with his subtlety, which is paramount to a false wisdom. And that false wisdom gives rise to the confusion. Adam and Eve had the right wisdom, the true wisdom, and hence there was no confusion. So you can see how all of these things fit together, and how we have used the deeper comprehension of biblical Hebrew to garner a better understanding of what the Bible means. Now, I'd like to end this particular lesson by having us think about what this means for us today. And the question we need to ask is, how would we define or how would we describe the world we live in with regard to this term confusion? Are we in confusion, or is this world a world of cohesion, a world where there is direction? Or is the planet that we live on in doubt? Are we today in a state of turmoil and disorder? I'm not saying we're in total disorder or in total cohesion, but this is a question that we need to be asking. And we need to be seeing if what is indicated in the Bible here with regard to being in God's presence and being without confusion, which is the state that Adam and Eve were in, is relevant to today's state of this world. We'll be discussing this more later.